Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this sleeve cuff that has a ruffle at the end. Guys, the next video I'm going to be using this sleeve in it. So I decided to make an in-depth tutorial of the sleeve before I go into the video. So guys, this particular sleeve here, I'm going to be showing you guys 3 ways of making it. So I cut this here. This is not how it's supposed to look like. So guys, what you're going to do first is just to cut your sleeve. Like normally this edge comes with a long sleeve, right? But since I'm just trying to show you guys how it looks, I just cut this here. But imagine this to be a long sleeve, right? So you're going to go ahead and fold the edge like this. So you're going to take it, fold the edge of the sleeve this way. Fold it like how you normally end the edge of your clothes, and then we'll come back. I'll show you guys how you're going to gather it, because you're going to, after folding the edge, the next basic step here is to run. It depends on how many inches you want away from the edge. Let's say you want like 4 inches away after folding the rough end. Like after giving it the finishing, you want 4 inches away before you attach that band on top of it. Then that 4 inches away, run your loose stitch, your gather stitch that you normally use to run to make gather. Run it like twice along that line, like on a straight line across this way. So I'm going to do that on the 2 of them, and then I'll bring it back and show you guys how we're going to attach the band to it. So guys, if you're trying to make this sleeve, remember, like I said before, is a long sleeve, and you're just going to keep your hand straight so that you can get this ruffle at the end. Like whatever you use at the beginning, the width is still going to remain the same all the way to the end, except you're making an exaggerated one. Then you have to widen it a little bit more. But my whole point in this video is just to show you guys how to make the end of the cuff, right? So I would assume that you already know the width you want to use to get the flay of this here, because as you can see, this sleeve here, it was cut straight the way, like I didn't cut it like a slim fit cuff. It's just like a straight cuff, so that when it comes to the end, the elastic or whatever you use can bring it together so that you can have this ruffle here. Because imagine if you made it like, if you use your cuff how you normally cut like a long sleeve, and then you added your cuff and everything and shaped it in an angle form, then you can't be able to get this ruffle here. So guys, the first thing I'm going to do, so you see I double stitched, I used my thread to make this ruffle here. So guys, the next thing you're going to do is just to take the cuff. So for the first one we are going to do is, if you're trying to make it exactly your cuff, right? And then the second one we are going to do is if you're trying to make it in such a way that it looks like a tie, right? The one that will have a tie at the end. So the one that has a curve, let's say your slim, your curve is this width, right? This is what you are working with. So what you're going to do is just to take it here, and then you're going to place it. Remember to add like 1 inch to it so that you can be able to fold the edge. So guys, you're going to take it this way, and then you're going to sew it down. You see at the edge here, I have about 1.5 that I didn't sew down, and I didn't make it in form of a ruffle. The same at this edge here, I left about 1.5 at this end here, or 1.5 at this end. You can do 1 inch depending on how much seam allowance you use. So the beginning part is going to be in a straight form, and then you're going to sew it down. So I'm going to take it the way it is now, place it here. Try to keep everything straight, and then you're going to take this here, sew it at the very top here down, and then sew the other one at the very end here all the way to the end like this. So try to keep it straight and sew it down. If you want, you can pin it down so it doesn't move, and then you sew it on top this way. And then I'm going to show you guys how we're going to finish the edges. So guys, this is it here. You see I've sewn it down. So guys, all I have to do now is just to turn it to the edge here, and then I'm going to skip. You're not going to sew it down here, at least from the top of this part here, top of the band. You're going to close up your sleeve, or 1 inch above the top of the band. You're going to close up your sleeve, and then after closing that up, you're going to, if you want, there are 2 ways to do this here. It depends on you. If you want yours to have a button so that you can be able to open it and close it, that's if you didn't add ease to the cuff, and you feel like if you close it exactly the way it is, your hand might not fit into the opening, then you might need to add a button and a button loop. But if you know that you added 1 inch to it, then you can just go ahead and close everything, and that is it. Your sleeve is done. That is the first method of doing it this way. Just close it, just start from the beginning here and close it. This sleeve is done. Attach it to your dress or top, is done. But the second method now is where you're going to come up here above the cuff and like 1 inch, and then close up the rest of your sleeve, and then the remaining part here you're going to turn it over this way. Turn it using 1/2 inch, just flip it over this way, sew it down, flip the other side over this way, sew it down, and then cross over. You know how we normally sew for if you're trying to make a slit by the side of your clothes. So just like that, you're going to, like, let's say you've sewn this part closed now. What you're going to do is use that seam allowance to fold this side away, and then use the other seam allowance to fold the other side away, right? And then you're going to double stitch it at the center so it doesn't open more than that. And then you're going to put a button on one side and a button loop on the other side. So I'm going to do that now and bring it so you guys would see. So guys, you see, I went ahead and made the loop with my fabric, just a loop, and then I sewed it down to the side. So that's basically it. All I have to do now is just to put a button on the other side of it, and then you use that button to close it up. So you see, once there's a button on this side now, this closes this way, and that's basically it. You see what it looks like. So this is the curve here. So this is how you do it for this one. And then if you want to make it a strap, all you have to do is go ahead, find the center of your cloth, right? I'm going to find the center, which is somewhere here, and then you're going to go ahead and mark that with a chalk so that you know that this is where the center is. Then find the center of your tie, right? The center of your tie. So for me, that is somewhere here. Mark that also, and then place it together. This is just so that you can have both ends of the tie to be equal, right? And then after that, you're going to go ahead and do the same thing we did for the other one. You're going to sew it down. But in this case now, you're not going to sew it to the end, right? You're going to stop at least 1 inch or 1.5 before the edge, depending on what your seam allowance is. So I'm going to stop like 1.5 or even 2 inches because this is just a miniature version, right? So I would think if you're making it in a bigger size, like in a normal human size, you would use like 1.5 or 2 inches. That would be okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here. I'm going to mark where I'll stop. So I'm going to stop my seam here, and on the other side, I'm also going to stop my seam somewhere here. So now the same way we sewed the other one down, I'm going to sew this down, and once I sew it down, so you're going to sew it down all the way at this edge here, all the way at the edge of the top here, and then after that, you're going to take it this way and close it up. But when closing it up, you're going to flip the belt to go inside, and then you're going to close it up the way we closed the other one. This other one now, you're going to close up from this beginning all the way to this point, like 1 inch before where that band is again. And then you're going to turn it away. Turn away the sides, right? Turn away the edges that way, the way we turned this one, right? The way we made this. You see how we did it? Flipped it using the side seam all the way here, crossed over this side, flipped the other side. So that's how we're going to do it, and then I will show you guys what it will look like now. So guys, you see what I was saying here? So you see, guys, but try to double stitch the edge of this wherever you decide to stop. If it's 2 inches before, double stitch it so it doesn't come loose, and then you're going to just close it up. You see, you're going to sew using your seam allowance, sew it all the way, cross over, and then close it up again. Just flip it inside, and then this is what it would look like. So you see, I think I prefer this tie one too. So this is it here. It will just drop over this way on your sleeve. And then this is the other one if you decide to make it into a curve. So guys, look out for the next video. We are going to be using this method here, this particular one, not the one with the tie. But I figured if I'm going to be making a tutorial on this, I might as well show you guys that it could be done in different ways. So there are 3 ways here: the one with tie, the one with button, and the one you close up entirely. So it depends on you, whichever method you want to use. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for your time, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.